And welcome to Let 'Em Talk. I'm Paul DeRienzo with Miss Joan Marie Moossy.
Hi.
And welcome again our guest, artist Albert Crudo. Hi Albert. Welcome to Manhattan Neighbor Network, our show Let Them Talk. And we're going to talk about your artwork and how you got to be an artist and why you do the art that you do. And we'll bring Barbie, who seems to be hanging in
We have
there.
a sculpture with us
She's
tonight,
hanging
which
in
is
there.
wonderful.
And
for the holiday season.
and we'll take your calls. You see the numbers on the screen, 212-757-1538. So we'll be happy to take your calls.
Yeah,
and,
call us up.
Well, Albert, tell us a little bit what's it like to be a visual artist in America today.
Plenty of material.
It's the most amazing thing because the vast amount of resources you have as a visual artist today in this world that we're living in 21st century is just incredible. It's
fantastic.
It's never happened before in the history of man that you are able to access so many different references. So
Now you work in a field you call hypermodernism. Can you explain what that is? What is the concept of hypermodernism?
well, I think hypermodernism actually encompasses the way we live. We're at this hyper pace where everything is accessible. Just think of how many different products and TV shows and cable channels like this one and everything there is today. So it's a hyper-modern society we're living in, and my work reflects that.
And you work a lot with iconic figures in our culture. So give us some examples. What would that be? Like, I know you have a series on Barbie, and this is one example of the many pieces of work. And the Barbie series, of course, is photographs, sculptures, paintings. It comes in all different mediums. You work in all different mediums.
Yes.
But besides Barbie, what are some other iconic figures that you would depict? And
Well, I have to admit that I'm a how would I put this, a junk food, a video junk food junkie. So whoever is the flavor of the moment, Brittany.
Now, today you're the food.
Let's eat. So Donald Trump, Brittany, Oprah,
oh, I love
Paris.
Yes.
Hi, Paris.
The entire Hilton family
Yes.
portrait, which is fantastic.
Well, what do
Thank
you
you.
think of the writer's strike? Is that going to affect your work? I mean, the fact that it looks like all the scripted television programs will be going off the air in the next few weeks and replaced with live TV of some sort of
Reality television,
television.
non-scripted, yeah.
I think it would be good.
It's actually going to be an improvement.
Yeah, that reality TV will finally be real.
have
Yes,
to
I
be.
think that would be great.
Just
Now
like
tell
this show.
people where they can see some of these paintings, because you really, with visual artists, of course, you have to see it in order to really appreciate it.
Oh, we can take it up a little further. Oh, this is how to get in
This is
touch and see more of your work.
How to see more of the work, albertcrudo.com, so you can check that out.
And we'll be showing that later and telling people.
Now you're
how to-
predominantly a painter.
Yes.
Primarily a painter, but you also work in other media. You do sculpture, you do photographs,
Mm-hmm.
you've made wigs. There's a phenomenal Barbie wig on the website that you've got to see. It's quite amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And also, is that your dog, Cupcake?
That's my mom's dog.
Your mom's dog, okay,
Yes.
because Cupcake, what kind of dog is that?
He's a French bulldog,
Okay.
and he's an angel, which is why that I have portrayed him as a saint.
As a
in-
saint,
in
yes.
one of the
Well,
pieces.
describe also behind us. I mean, we have Falling Waters, the famous house by the architect, and my mind is going nuts here.
Right,
Frank
Frank
Lloyd
Lloyd
Wright.
Wright.
Lloyd Wright, of
This is
course.
one of your latest pieces, is projected behind us right now, and it's called When I Lived at Falling Water. Now tell us a little bit about that painting.
Well, once again, Frank Lloyd Wright's buildings are so iconic. They are part of America. Actually, not. I take that back. They're part of the world, world culture. And when I went there to see the building, I actually cried because it was such a masterpiece, and it was so overwhelming, the perfection of it. And you I know for myself that I'm very rarely moved by artwork like that.
To that degree.
To that degree where I cried. Actually, the first 2 times I went there, I cried. I was like a maniac. But
I saw you coming.
they were like, oh my God.
I got it to the choir.
They were like locking the doors. But You know, it moved me so much that I felt such a strong connection to the piece that's what you aspire to as an artist, is to create something that moves people in that way.
Want to take a call?
Oh, sure. I didn't realize we had one.
We have a call?
Wonderful.
Welcome to Let Them Talk.
Hello?
How you doing?
Hi. Speak up. We can't hardly hear you.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Good.
What's that doll doing in the back?
Oh, this is a Barbie sculpture by Albert Crudo, our artist guest here today.
I think we got him going.
He's got
there.
a song,
Thank you.
a Barbie song.
We have
Thank
another
you
call.
very much.
Hi, you're on.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
How you guys doing?
All
Good.
right.
Why do you have Barbie on the cross?
Well, our guest is Albert Crudo, who's done a whole series about Barbie. Much of his work is around iconic figures in our culture, and so this is one sculpture, one example of the Barbie series. And Albert, why don't you tell us a couple of other things that
Well,
are
tell
in
us
this
why.
series?
We'll answer the question. Why is Barbie on a cross?
Good question. You know, we're in a world where almost everything is interchangeable today, and it's just a small stretch of the imagination where instead of Jesus, it could be Barbie who's sacrificing her life to save our society. You know, so it's all about us and what we worship. You know, there's a cult of Barbie out there. So, you know, this is to reflect that, to make you think, you know, that a piece of plastic could actually give her life to save humanity.
See, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, it's not sacrilegious.
Okay.
Lots of people were crucified. It's not just Jesus, actually. Crucifixion was a form of torture that was used in the Middle Ages. So a lot of people associate this with Jesus, but it's not necessarily about Jesus.
Right, there's a whole group of people
Yeah.
who suffered this.
Yeah.
All right, Quo Vadis. All right, any other comments, caller?
No, I'm good.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Nice
Bye.
to talk to you.
And like we said, we're taking calls, so we're live tonight.
And should we look at some more artwork so that people get a feel?
212-757-1538. Albert Crudo, and let's show some of his other work.
Okay, so this is based on a Fellini movie.
All right.
Some of his
My
latest
favorite.
work that's not seen on the website, so we're
Whoops.
seeing it for
Whoops,
the
I
first
am
time
so
here.
sorry.
That's okay.
Are you all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And here, what is this? Describe this piece of work that we're showing right now.
That's based on a Fellini movie called Juliet of the Spirits, and it was Fellini's first color movie.
A wonderful movie.
It is so spectacular. Every scene is a painting, and once again, seeing a piece of genius like that, I was very moved by it, and it's not an exact still from the movie. I
Your
created it.
interpretation
My
of a
interpretation.
moment in the movie.
Yes, it's a compilation of several different scenes from the movie that I interpreted.
And of course, if you know the movie, the beach scene is an iconic moment
Yeah.
in the movie.
That's when we first meet the neighbor.
That's right. It's a fantastic movie. And I
Go
love
see
the
it. Go see it.
painting.
It'll change your life.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I wanted to show also one of these because Albert also does portraits of people. And the method that you use in the portraiture is to isolate a detail of the subject, which I think is a fascinating choice in terms of portraiture. So can you tell us sort of how you came to that?
Well, when you look at somebody, if you really look at them and not just glaze over them, but if you really start to examine them, there are features about them that immediately bring to mind that person.
Right.
And I thought, wouldn't that be kind of interesting to be able to zero in on these features of people that you don't need to see the whole face or the whole body. There's just one little
know that
to know that
sound.
person. Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. That one little, like if somebody did a picture of Madonna's mouth, I
You
bet
would know.
90% of the people would know whose mouth it was because it's so distinctive. I mean, I'm not saying every feature
Now, in
of
this
everybody.
particular case, it's the eyes, but it's not always. Sometimes
No.
it's a hand.
A
or-
hand. I'm actually right now doing my feet because I happen to have 2 toes that are webbed.
Wow,
Unique.
that's unusual.
And
Want to take your feet off and show us?
Maybe
we'll save that
next
for
show.
another show. Leave them
Now,
wanting something.
another series that I absolutely love is the human insects.
Oh, thanks.
And these are large floral with a human being, a human figure, interspaced in the scenario. And Paul, if you could show, these three are examples of that, and there's
Sure.
more on the website, but this is another, I think, fascinating perspective on a subject.
We have another call, by the way, if you want to try it.
Okay,
You're on. It's not.
sound problem.
An
with
art
that call.
critic.
Yeah. So
Well-
tell us a little bit about these. This one is sunbathing on a sunflower. I'm not sure the exact title, but
Sunflower sunbathing.
sunflower sunbathing.
This series started when I was in my garden and I happened to see this small ant inside of a flower. And I thought to myself, here we are, the top of the food chain, and I'm sitting here in envy of this ant because he must be experiencing the most incredible visual experience, or actually sensory experience.
I was gonna say the
fragrance,
softness, the
the
fragrance,
tactile.
yeah.
So can you imagine what it would be like to be inside of a flower, the size of like a cathedral? It would be like being in a living church of God, and it just it just overwhelmed me, this feeling of envisioning myself in this flower, and that's what started the series. I thought, wouldn't we be lucky if genetic engineering does anything positive? It'll be making flowers,
Gigantic flowers.
huge flowers that we can crawl all over.
No, I love that, and it's funny your explanation, because that's exactly what it evoked for me, was the idea of being in a flower and all the completely rounded sense of the smell, the feeling of a petal,
The light coming
velvety-
through, that color, the luminescence of that. There's nothing to describe it to. There's nothing we can compare it to. Some people say, well, it's like being in a forest, but it's not.
But it's really
'Cause
not, yeah.
there's walls of glowing color that are alive.
No,
So,
I love the concept behind that.
I actually wanted to, that's a 3-part thing I'm working on. The next part will be to take them mural size.
Oh,
So you'll see-
wonderful.
to-
Feel the magnitude
The
of
magnitude.
it. Yeah.
And then eventually the third step is to build them. The
Oh,
flowers,
three-dimensionally,
three-dimensional,
like a
and
sculpture.
let people and have them be strong enough out of like a glass, some kind of glass that has luminescence.
Oh, so that we can be
We can
the
be and we can
insects.
experience that,
Yeah.
because I think that would be a life-altering experience.
I do
really
too.
do.
That's a wonderful idea. So you must think of yourself in some ways a conceptual artist. I mean, beyond being a painter, that so much of your artwork, there's an overriding concept that ties it together, that spurs the idea, that spurs the visual.
Well, I can't limit myself to one thing, like being
Mm-hmm.
a painter. I mean, I'm an artist, so I would like to think that I see things in every way possible. Why limit myself to seeing it as a two-dimensional thing when you can take it wherever you want?
Let's give it another try. You're on.
Hello?
Hello?
Those pictures are really unique. What inspired you to make them?
Which ones are you talking about?
The one with the flowers.
Well, I kind of just went over that, but just to rehash quickly, I was in a garden and I saw a small bug inside of a flower, and I was jealous of that insect, and I was thinking how lucky that creature is to experience that. So that's where I got the idea.
Where's the albertcrudo.com?
Any other comments,
Do you
Colin?
have that?
Is it because you never know what they're feeling?
Never know who's feeling.
The bugs.
You never know.
I tried to put myself from the perspective of a bug. Yes, I was trying to visualize what the bug
That's
was
really cool.
experiencing. Yes.
Anything else, Colin?
No.
All right,
All
thank you very much.
you, hon.
Thank you.
Where's the albertcrudo.com one? Is
Over
it over
here.
there?
Right
yeah,
here.
because, and then, I want to show these too. Grab
And
that
here
one.
where
hon.
you can see more of Albert's work at his website. And we'll give you that information right here.
Now, I wanted to talk about these landscapes as well, where they're New York skyscapes that sort of explode into a floral. Hand these to Paul so he can show
They're
them
more-
as well. These are
beautiful.
stunning, stunning paintings. Are these oil paintings
These
as
are
well?
these are oil on canvas, yeah, oil on linen actually. Now these paintings, I was walking down the block one day. See, my mind's in constant free fall. I'm always being influenced by things I'm remembering or seeing or hearing, and it just all of a sudden comes together like in this cataclysmic explosion in my mind all at once, and I get these crazy
The
ideas.
idea sparks, yeah.
So I was walking down the street one day, and I was looking at these iconic buildings of Manhattan. I was like, imagine if they, once again with the huge flowers, they genetically engineered flowers big enough that we could use iconic buildings as vases. And I was just thinking, wouldn't that be spectacular? Wouldn't that be the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? And the funny thing is, this is Empire State Budding.
Empire State
This is
Budding.
great.
And the one you just showed was called World Trade Flowers. Now, the thing about World Trade Flowers is that was painted a year before 9/11.
So 2000.
2000, yeah. Actually, well, six
Few months
Yeah, a few months. It was February of 2001.
Okay.
And the scary thing is that painting was sitting next to a TV when 9/11 was going on, and it was the same shape of the buildings coming down. So you had on the TV this shape of all in black and whites and grays, the horror, and then this in vivid color
Colorful.
of beauty.
But the same shape.
But the same shape.
Wow.
And it was very frightening, and it was like, that's really weird.
So
like,
it was a strange premonition.
a strange
in a
premonition.
way.
A lot of my work, is very.
Well, you're very in the moment, so I guess sometimes it reflects the future too.
I'd like to think I'm very open, so I guess your subconscious or your psyche absorbs all these things and sometimes puts them together and does.
Right, just ahead of reality.
Just ahead of reality.
Yeah.
Who's to say though that this is another thing, because I watch about string theory and stuff. Who's to say that this reality isn't 6 months ahead in another reality? So maybe I'm just getting vibes from that reality,
Right, and putting them down
and
on
putting
paper.
them down on paper.
Well, I think these are fascinating. These floral skyscapes. Is that a good?
They're actually called floralscapes.
Florascapes.
And I'm actually going to be doing, that's a series I'm working on. I do just, I don't want to say random, but a very eclectic body of work, but I do go back and revisit sometimes the same themes.
Well, because you're a conceptual artist, there's strings through your work.
Yes, there is.
So you
there
may
is.
drop it, but then come back to
Yes.
it later. Or
Yeah. It's, that's sometimes like a new concept will hit me and I'll just have to put something aside slightly. But I want to do, the Eiffel Towers up and the Taj Mahal and all the iconic buildings in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, I love it.
Thanks.
And now, what makes you decide which flowers go with which buildings? Are you still contemplating that?
With the first one, which was the World Trade Flowers, it was all about the colors of the flowers, because I knew I wanted it to be a sunset scene, so it was all about the colors, the oranges and the purples.
Yellows
And then with the Empire State Budding, I just happened to think
With a
a
single,
bud of a
yeah.
rose is a single rose is a universal. But like now that I'm thinking of doing the Eiffel Tower and stuff, I'm going to be using flowers more. Not associated, but more, I'm doing a little research. Like they call the Paris the City of Light. So I may be using sunflowers. And then a French friend told me that the official flower of Paris is the iris.
Oh.
So I might be doing irises. I don't know. It's up in the air
So
about
you're
that one.
thinking it over,
I'll
yes.
have to work with it and see what comes out,
All right.
Great. Well, let's keep showing.
Okay,
work, and,
great.
We'll take
Tell
some
us a
calls.
little bit about this one.
This is fascinating.
Now, this is behind us, so we won't.
This is my role here, is to show the art. Great role. I enjoy
Tell
it.
us a little bit about this one, Albert.
Well, this one is a landscape, and in the landscape, this is called The House That Pooh Built. Number me 1 to 10. And the Pooh house comes from a concept of Barbie Pooh, which is
we have that here too, don't we?
which is a sculpture I did in 2000.
Here, Paul, take this and show it as well.
All right.
This is Barbie Pooh.
That's Barbie Pooh.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no.
Oh my God! Thank God Lloyd's of London just insured that. Oh my God.
Here is one, and then boom, the real
And
thing.
turn it around. That's Barbie Pooh.
So
Is it all right to open this, or is it?
yeah, you can open that. The concept
And
of
is it? Can I take it out? Or
No,
is it,
it's
in there.
It's in there.
only the collectors can remove it. We have to appreciate it from inside the package. But Barbie Pooh is a concept I came up with in 2000, and it's all about marketing and what will sell and the cult of Barbie again.
Well, and I love the packaging. It's just divine on that.
Well, I mean, packaging has become an art form.
It certainly has.
It takes so many things into consideration. You know, psychology, the theory of color. It's you know, it's not just haphazardly how they package things.
Absolutely
It's
not,
an art unto itself, and so.
Well, something else that
It's
runs...
amazing that something so beautiful could come from someone so...
Well, there's another theme that runs through your work, and I think through all of your work, which is an incredible sense of humor. I think that you're so clever and so funny. I mean, when I look through your website and look at your work, I find myself laughing frequently because I see that initially it's a beautiful painting. I mean, you're very talented in terms of just technique, but as you look at it, you sort of see that twist and you get it like a joke. And I wonder if that's a cultivated thing or does that come to you naturally? Or
You know, I don't intentionally make things to be funny, but this crazy world we're living in is funny. I mean, if you're taking it seriously, you're going to be depressed all the time.
Constantly.
So you've got to laugh. And I've come to appreciate that when I see people smiling at my work, how many things in this world make you smile? So
Well,
I think that's a
things
great...
One of the things making me smile, one of your recent
Oh,
works,
here, let's take a
let's
look
jump
at
ahead
this,
and
yeah.
see this. What is this called?
That's called America's Favorite.
I'm gonna I want to come up like this and just
reveal
the
it.
audience.
Give it like the big reveal.
Ta-da, zoom. And there it is. What do
And
you call
again,
this
an
again?
iconic food product.
That's called America's Favorite. It's from my new series, and it's called Sweet Things. And it's all about desserts of all kind and body parts.
And these are, of course, Oreo
Because they're both
cookies.
yummy.
Yeah.
So I replaced the certain body parts with desserts.
Now, what is your training, Albert? Did you go to art school or did you study on your own?
I'm
or-
primarily self-taught, yeah.
I mean, because you do have a beautiful technique. I mean, you're able to draw the human figure, which is very difficult, and which a lot of people have a great deal of training to do in a way that looks like you've got training.
Well, you know what? I practice a lot. I really work at my craft. I know that, I don't want to say I suffer for my art, but I do, it is hard work.
Do you work with models ever? Or?
I work with models for photography, and I do sometimes photograph for reference.
That's something that you'll draw
That
later.
I'll draw
yeah.
later, yeah.
Beautiful.
Drawing with models is very, very hard,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I've worked as an artist's model before, and it's a unique relationship with an artist as well. It's fascinating, and I certainly enjoyed it.
All right. Oh, I'm going to show this next. All right.
Now tell us about that one.
Now, this is a painting I hope does not come true. It's called The End of Civilization as We Know It. And unfortunately, I think that we are on we're on a teetering point here. There's either, and I'm not being negative, we can move in the right direction, but there's also a great possibility of us running in a wrong direction. And this painting's kind of just like a warning that civilization as we know it might end. That's not to say it's going to be bad,
That it's
a bad thing.
inevitable.
But I think it is inevitable. That civilization as we're living now in this mass consuming lifestyle, the earth cannot sustain everybody wanting everything. And so things will change one way or the other, and hopefully it'll be in a good way.
Good, yes.
You know, I'm an optimist.
Well, I'm an optimist too, so I'm always looking for solutions. And
There are solutions.
happy
and that's the thing
ending.
is, I think that we can have most everything we have now if we do it in the right way. You know, there are solutions that are environmentally friendly for everything.
Now, I don't want to forget cupcake, because this is one of my favorites, and this is the Cupcake of Prague. And that's just priceless.
Thanks. Cupcake is my mom's Frenchie, and he is the closest thing to God on earth I know. He is such an innocent spirit. He makes me laugh. I don't care how bad I'm feeling. He walks into the room like a 90-year-old man, and I just go hysterical. He is the only dog that air kisses. You go to give him a kiss, he turns his cheek to you. He's a perfect New York dog. But one day I said he is a saint. He's a saint, and so I painted him as the cupcake
And
of
Paul,
God.
here's another one of Cupcake, and then there's Cupcake sort of in a painting, which I love too, where he just appears.
He does have some vices. He smokes cigars. Okay, he's not perfect. Okay, he eats cupcake. His name is Cupcake. He eats cupcakes and he smokes cigars. We're not perfect, but that's Cuppy.
That's great. And then show the next one, because this is a what would you call it? Like a takeoff on a dolly?
Well, it's a self-portrait where Dolly and I are Siamese twins. My aunt did a family tree a couple of years ago, and it turns out that even though I'm Italian, originally our family came from Spain, in the same area that Dolly did. So, you know, back then, villages, everybody in the village was kind of closely related.
Right.
So there may actually be some kind of connection, because I've always felt some weird affiliation, more than just an admiration for his, which I do. I mean, I bow to him. I mean, I've cried at his museum too.
Yeah,
if you're ever in St. Petersburg, go to the Dolly Museum. It is the most amazing thing you'll ever do. So I've always felt an affiliation with him, and so I painted us as Siamese twins. My work is not like Dolly's, but
I wanted to show. Or that's
which one? You show me what you want.
Well, I wanted to show this one here of my this character.
Oh, the
Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald. Well, these are
this
a
is
whole
great.
series of iconic figures here.
yes, this is from my Pop Icon series. This is Madonna, over a billion serviced. It's a combination of Madonna and Ronald McDonald, because you know, in this day and age, whether you're selling a CD or a hamburger, it's marketing and it's
We have
selling.
just a
Now
few
let's
seconds
quickly go
left.
through these.
We only have a minute left.
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart as Vishnu.
No,
Oh.
that's
Shiva.
That's her.
There
There
it
she
is.
Martha
is.
Stewart.
Martha
There
Stewart.
it is. Great.
Okay, go ahead.
All right,
Because we
and
just
the
have a
next
couple
is
seconds left.
Donald Trump, yay! Donald Trump, yay!
Whose tower is bigger?
Oprah.
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 Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey.
Saint
That's
Winfrey if you're nasty. And Paris.
the Hilton
the birth of
family.
Paris.
Paris Hilton. All right.
Yay!
Albert,
Hey,
thank
We
you
got
so
them
much.
on.
Show albertcrudo.com again.
If I can find it under here, albertcrudo.com. Here it
because
is.
we're just about to go
to
off.
see these
but
pictures.
Thank you
and
so much
we'll
for
see you
coming
Thank you so
tonight.
much for having me. It was
really
great.
fun.
Thank you, Albert, for showing up. And
So
we'll
go
be
to
back this week.
albertcrudo.com. That'll clue you into upcoming shows and his work.
And you could be on my mailing list if you'd like.
You can sign up for the mailing list. And